Hello, I would like to show you here a gift that an architect sent me from Japan. She sent me this one plus 2 copies, and it's always a gift, not because it was offered, but because it's always a pleasure for me to see what people have been published, the other publishing houses have been published by, featuring Álvaro Siza. This is a project, one of the less known projects, a single family house in Spain. This is also very beautiful. I was saying just now in the Portuguese video that if we were in the shoes of the photographer, I have some doubts regarding if we would really be seeing the landscape. I think that we would pay attention to the relation between the architecture and the landscape. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? Although it's concrete, I think it's really, really marvelous. I don't think that we would be seeing the landscape. At least in my case, I wouldn't, that's for sure. I really think it's amazing. Really, really beautiful. I think it's gorgeous, the drawing, the shape. Yeah. But from the other perspective, from the other angle, I think it's really amazing. I think it's fully integrated in the landscape. This project is really beautiful as well. Look at the scale here and how it designed the transition between these different floors. Yeah. This reminds me of another project. I was just saying now in the Portuguese video, the other project he calls a temple. And I would also like to show this one. This reminds us that Siza draws every single program, what you call program. I don't know if program means you can use everything, so that you can also use it in English language. It means that Siza can draw and he can, he can design a museum, a house, whatever, an arbor, an airport, a bridge, several bridges. It doesn't matter. Siza draws everything. That's pretty unusual concerning architects. You can take a very famous name, right? But it's not very common that they have very different projects with different functions. If you compare it with Siza, it's not common. Siza draws everything at every scale. This is really amazing. And the first time that I realized that this project was made was during a visit to the office, and Siza showed me himself in 2019, and I was very much surprised, to be honest, because I never saw anything like this drawn by him. And this also shows one thing, that Siza also designs and draws for people, that doesn't have much money, much financial resources, and without making a fuss. In his very low profile, he does everything. He was very friendly in this project, very knowledgeable, but without making a fuss. Very low profile. So he's a very kind human being, a very generous human being. He's a really great soul. I'm really his friend. I really admire him. And this is another project, a school, music school, I think, in Spain. Yeah, municipal school. And in the end, there's also an article by a Portuguese architect, Nuno Grande, that is also a professor. And he highlights 5 projects in the city of Porto that, in his opinion, represents, in 5 different decades, represents the city. And he gives a very beautiful title. He also writes an essay, major essay, a big one, in the beginning of the magazine. And the title of this last essay is A Poem to Porto. I really love this title because I think it represents very well Siza. This title is, a poem. I think that's what Siza does. And I think that's what he is, really. My best regards, Master. Big hug. And so this is it. Okay, I'm sorry I was telling the Portuguese video. I'm very tired. It's almost 4 a.m. and I'm really tired. So I wish you the best. I advise you to get this magazine. It's not, like I was saying in the Portuguese video, it's not as big as this one. It's not as large as this one. This is a double issue, but it's very good. And it has the usual quality that A+U has. I really respected their editors, his editor. its editor, and I think it's very good, really. So I really advise you to buy it. Thank you very much for seeing this video. I wish you the best to you and your family, okay? Cheers.